This is going to be a second part to the strategy video. We're going to be looking at my strategy, liquidity, supply and demand. You must know from the previous video, the 5 minute. Let's go through some rules and some recap. First thing I would say is when you're looking for a 30-minute trade, you want to follow the trend. The trend is essentially your friend. You should make sure if you're looking for demands, you're looking for uptrend, just like I'm drawing right here. And if you're looking for supplies, you should be looking for a downtrend, just like I'm drawing right here. While doing an uptrend and downtrend, you can also be looking for reversals. I've been taking some trades with some reversals that I'm going to later be showing you in this video. But so far, I'm going to be showing you how this works. So for an uptrend, obviously we're going to be looking for demands, right? Demands. You could see how, look, price came up, broke these highs, came down, created a level of liquidity, broke these highs right here, came back straight to the zone, just like this, gave us an entry, we take this trade, and then we aim for essentially the next structure point. So we could be aiming for here, or we could be aiming for more, depending on how price is moving. Same thing for supplies. You want to be looking for a nice supply zone with, of course, liquidity showing. Nice liquidity showing, with lows being broken, price coming back, giving us an entry, be entering around there, putting our stops above, and then pretty much be looking for a take profit around the structural area or any other areas, depending on how price is moving. That's a short and sweet recap, because obviously in the 5 minute I've showed you that what an uptrend, downtrend is, lower lows, lower highs, and high lows, and all of that. Now we're going to be getting into the charts. I'm going to be showing you a trade that I've took. This is the trade that I've took. Like I've said before, you could also be taking reversals. So if we are seeing how price is moving low, showing a downtrend right here, you could also say how price is now breaking some highs, giving us an upwards movement, just like this. You can see how price is going down. Then you can see how it starts to break these highs, give us some bullish structure, and essentially this is why I took the trade. I saw price breaking these highs, completely disregarding the supply, so it gave a nice demand push right here, with valid liquidity right here as marked, with breakup structures around here and here. Then I saw price come straight down, giving us a nice movement, giving us an entry point to enter. In this case, I've entered a bit late. I just missed a typical entry that I was supposed to be entering. It should have been a 1 to 6 based on the entry right here, around there. Instead, sadly, I've entered late. Still good risk to reward. 1 to 4.3. I'm not gonna complain about that. Let's be honest. But yeah, we could be capturing more for this trade. So yeah, that's for this trade. I've entered on a normal directional close. I'll be going through some entry models quite later in this video. I've entered here, and my aim was around this structural point. I saw the supply, and I've just aimed for the supply for a TP1. You could essentially be looking for a TP2, but I just normally really look for just one take profit. That's just me, that's my preference. Normally, RD and Mango, they'll be looking for a TP1 and a TP2. They see a good movement and if they see potential for a TP2, which can be 1 to 10. But in my case, I just want to look for one TP. I might change this in the future, I don't know. However, right now, this is how it is. So yeah, so this is where I've put my TP, pretty much on the supply. You can see how it perfectly hit this. It took a while there, I'm not gonna lie. It was consolidating a bit, as you could see. If I draw a box right here, you can see how much it was actually quite consolidating. Then it finally broke and hit my TP. But you can see how price came straight down, completely respecting the supply, which is crazy because it just came straight down. It would have taken us out. It looks like it was literally a liquidity issue right here, as you can see. Just came here, took liquidity, and carried on going up. While looking at that, you can also see there was another opportunity present right here as well. As you can see, this is even more of a confluence because look, it came down, swept this liquidity, gave us a nice demand area right here, and price came, gave us liquidity right here, and pretty much The rest is history. Came here, you can see, came here, broke these highs, came back, gave us an entry. Entry could be, in this case, it should be probably a flip entry, right? I would say a 30-minute flip would be good for this. This would be definitely good. And I would be looking for 1 to 3 minimum. That's always my criteria. That's always how I look at any trade. 1 to 3 minimum for the 30-minute. For the 30-minute. And then you can be aiming structural points. I mean, this was clearly a structural point. You can see what I had. Or you could be aiming for these highs, these highs. You can see there's a lot of potential in this trade, however, because of the fact that, first of all, I don't really normally look at liquidity sweeps like this. This for me looks like a perfect liquidity sweep right here. But you can see how price has literally been creating high highs and high lows, giving us a bullish structure. And I have no doubt that this trade could just carry on going and going and going and hit this structural point potentially. But yeah, this was a trade. I didn't take this trade. I missed this trade. So it is what it is. We left without me. It went. But it still counts. It's a valid trade for sure. Let me show you another example. This is another example on the 30-minute as well. This was more of a lower class trade. I would classify this as a low probability trade. However, in this time of the market, the conditions were pretty rough. I mean, low quality setups were winning, high quality setups were losing. That's just part of how trading is. We can't really say when a trade's going to win or not. We can only execute and make sure our edge over the market is positive. So in this case, I saw this AJ. You can see how price was definitely showing some bearish structure right here. And from this bearish structure, you can see how price just switched to bullish. So you can see how it wasn't breaking these lows right here, and it just shifted from a bearish to a bullish structure. You was breaking these minor highs, breaking these highs, and you can see how price was literally just forming an uptrend. And I was anticipating a reversal, and clearly this reversal, it was a low quality setup, but a setup is a setup. I just take this trade, gave us some liquidity, breaking these highs, breaking these highs, came back here, gave us a nice rejection. The fact that price even came down all the way here through the zone and giving us this rejection, it just gives more of a confluence. It's more of like you being confident in taking this trade, even though it's a low quality setup. Low quality setup essentially doesn't mean it's gonna lose all the time. There's gonna be times where low quality wins and high quality loses. That's part of trading. That's part of probabilities, as you may know. So it gave us an entry right here. I entered on the 30-minute flip, as you could see. Areas to aim for. You could aim for a typical 1 to 3. That always look for a minimum, but you could also aim for these structures, right? Structure points right here. This would be pretty nice. You could be aiming for these structure points. You could aim for gap fills, fair value gaps. Mainly it's just based on structural points, to be honest. So you can clearly see it smashed and it's still going. It hit all the way up here, which is insane. Nearly a 1 to 20 risk to reward, which is so insane. But this was definitely a very good trade. I'm going to be showing you some losers too. This trade right here was a loser. This was right before the winner. This is quite unfortunate. So we can see how price was clearly forming a downtrend. This is perfectly a trade where you could see that it's following the trend. I'm not anticipating reversal here, I'm following the trend. It came here, gave us a nice supply zone. Breaking lows, by the way, you can see right here, breaking lows. Gave us a nice supply with 1 candle, 1-2 candle liquidity. That's what it looks like right here. And breaking lows, looking for price to come up. It gave us a good, nice entry. It's quite tight. It was quite tight of a stop loss for a 30-minute. 8.3 pips is a little tight. We normally be looking for around 13 pips to 14 pips or a bit above. We follow the system nevertheless, and we can see how price came, gave us an entry point. We entered on it, and you can see how price completely takes us out like liquidity right here. Price completely takes us out. Dude, I just became liquidity to the markets. Went straight and dumped. Barely retraced and straight dumped. This would have been a 1 to 10 trade, which I would have won, but it is what it is. And this is why one other thing you should also know is when you're taking these setups, make sure to leave a little bit of space. Don't just put it directly under it. However, when you're taking profit, you want to take profit like how you would in TradingView. In TradingView, I'll put this SL right there, as you can see, right on this wick. And when you're executing this on your prop firm account, personal account, whatever it is, you want to make sure for prop firms, you want to take spreads into account. I always do this and I always recommend this, whether it's supply or demand. That is something I always do, and that has saved me and helped me. And that's, yeah, I mean, it does reduce your risk reward by a little, but to be honest, it's worth it. It's worth it. So this is very sad. It took me out, went straight to TP. I'm going to show you some more examples as well. This one was very unfortunate as well. You can see our price was clearly going up. I can even draw a trend line to even show you. I'm not even a trend line trader, but you can see our price was definitely going up. I saw a nice demand right here. You'll probably be thinking, what about this? Well, for me, well, price has to retrace. When it extends this much, all the way up here, you're gonna possibly see a retracement coming down before carry on giving the leg up. And that's what I was looking at, and that's what I was seeing. So when price gives us a nice demand like this, with liquidity right here, with breaks of structure as well, which is obvious as well, price came down, gave a nice entry point, and entry should have been around this area right here. That was where my entry would be. I'll be looking for a flip entry for sure, definitely, especially on the maybe a 1 hour flip, because this is 3 p.m. UK time. I'll be entering this, looking for targets around here. See how price came straight down. There was no supply really here. I mean, there was a supply right here actually. Now that I think about it, there is a supply right here. However, I was really expecting the trend to carry this trade more than a supply like this. But it is what it is. Hit the supply, came straight to SL and took me out. So a nice trade. This, I couldn't even target it at 1 to 10. I mean, there's also gaps here that price can fill as well. Definitely could have targeted at 1 to 10. It's quite unfortunate. But I was still following the trend overall. This is also another trade that I also took. This is on AJ. On the 30-minute, you can see definitely that price was pretty much rejecting these areas, and the line I drew here was pretty much a key level as well. So I was anticipating on price definitely going higher, creating high highs and high lows and making sure it's an uptrend. You can see how price definitely gave a nice demand zone right here, with definitely nice liquidity right here with breaks of structures that I've literally labeled. Had a nice entry, directional close entry. I always mostly go for directional close entry when I was starting out, but now I'm a bit more advanced, more into the strategy. So I've been going for flip entry, which is more riskier. But it's, to be honest, all your choice. If you really want to be more riskier, go for flip entry. If you want to be more safe, go for directional close. In this case, I went for a directional close for this trade. And you can see it just completely took me out and went straight up to my direction, straight. You can definitely see how this is a definite reversal. There's double bottom right here, nice demand zone, definitely an uptrend. You can see from the bottom of my screen to all the way to the top of my screen, price has been going up, and I was right overall, but it just took me out and went. It's very unfortunate, but losses are definitely part of this. I have more lessons. I'm not even that perfect yet. I'm still doing my best. I'm still trying to go for more, but if I lose, I lose. As long as it's valid, I follow my plan. Perfect. Nothing more or nothing less to really say. But yeah, this is very good trade. I mean, I would definitely take this. Let me talk through some entry criteria. There's a few ways to enter. You can enter using directional close, a flip entry. So you could be using a 30-minute flip entry or 1 hour flip entry. Essentially what we call is a higher time frame entry. In this case, you can see this was just a normal directional close. I showed you some flip entries before as well. I'm going to write down a set of criteria and what I look for. First of all, follow the trend. That's one of my main criteria. Next thing I would look for is supply or demand with valid liquidity. So I'll also put in brackets, make sure to see break of structure, BOS, break of structure, thing. Third of all, I'll be looking for either flip entry or directional close entry. I really do recommend, if you are entering in a new 1 hour candle, you should definitely be looking for a flip entry, even if you're more of a beginner, because think about it, 1 hour candlesticks definitely will form a bottom wick or a top wick. You would definitely want to capitalize on the direction you're trying to take the trade with entering on it. It will really improve your RR significantly, in my opinion. Next, what I'll be looking for is next thing I'll be looking for is key levels. And then yeah, that's about it pretty much. There's nothing more to really add for it. I'm going to talk about all the pairs that I'm going to be trading. So currently I'm looking at GC, EU, UJ, UK 100, NAS 100, AJ, definitely German 30, and GN as well, and CJ. These are all the pairs. It may look like there's a lot of pairs, but trust me, finding 30-minute trades, there isn't that many trades of 30 minutes lately. It's mostly been the 5 minute that's been carrying. But when the 30 minutes cook, they cook differently. Trust me. But that's about it for this video and this part. And yeah, this is pretty much a 30-minute strategy video. And I hope to see you guys for the next video. And I hope you guys subscribe and leave a comment. If you have any questions, ask me, hit me up, and I'll definitely answer those questions. Thank you for watching.